Yes, over to me. Let me see if I can share my screen. I think I should be able to. There we go. Right, you should be able to see my screen now. And this is the Aussie Kiwi, Australian dollar versus the New Zealand dollar. This is the weekly chart for the Aussie Kiwi. And what's interesting about this is that in the last couple of months, we've broken this major trend line. Yeah, which has gone all the way back to 2015. We broke through it. We spent a little bit more time underneath it, but we've decisively broke through it. Now we've come back and almost retested it. The other thing I'm keeping an eye on is this horizontal level, yeah, which is at 108.25, and this is another. It's a level which has been both support and resistance, and now again we've broken through it. We've come back, we've retested it. Not really a super clean retest. You can probably draw another little horizontal level down there, I guess, which we have kind of recently bounced off in the last few weeks. This is the medium-term view, right? Because it's a weekly chart. But if we go down to the daily, this is also, I think this is also pretty cool. On the daily chart, you can see that we've made a higher high. We've had a bit of a retracement there. A couple of cycles down, yeah. But it fits nicely into a channel or a bull flag, and now we've broken out of that. So 108.25 is the horizontal level that we saw just now on the weekly chart. And Wednesday, we had a bullish engulfing bar, or not quite a bullish engulfing, but close enough. Thursday, we had bullish follow through. Yesterday, we retraced back a little bit, but look, there's lots of support here. So whilst the Aussie Kiwi stays above around about 108, stays above the top of the trend line there, right? As the top of the channel. I'm pretty excited about, enthusiastic about higher highs there. In fact, the Aussie itself, if I can just open up another chart here, Aussie US dollar has been also a bit of an interesting currency over the last maybe 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, so this is the weekly chart for the Aussie. Big push down, but we've had inside movement almost to the top of that, which is kind of more or less cancelled it out. And on the daily chart, we've got this higher low here and 3 days of buying. So I don't know what's going on fundamentally to support this, but you know, I'm pretty upbeat about the upside. Sorry about the pun there. Upbeat about the upside for the Aussie US dollar against most of the other currencies. It might outperform against the US dollar here, but it will. I think for a longer term play, it's probably a good currency to trade against the New Zealand dollar there, just as I mentioned before. Interested to hear some thoughts
on the fact that we're now equal terms with the All Blacks on Wellington soil.
Well, there you go. So I don't watch rugby anymore. I don't watch rugby anymore because I'm just tired of seeing the green and gold, right? Flag trampled into the dirt, right? So
you didn't watch today?
I didn't watch the Bledisloe Slow Cup, but I one of my Kiwi friends, one of my New Zealand friends texted me about it and said, "Hey, we both won at 16 all." So it's good. It's good to hear. That's good to hear. We didn't win, but we didn't lose, right? So it's a step in the right direction for
Isn't that awful
for the All Blacks?
Say we didn't lose
for the Wallabies.
We have a party because we didn't lose.
Yeah, exactly. But
sorry, I interrupted.
I thought you were going to ask me a fundamental question, Geoff. It's good to hear your audio's back on track now. But yeah, look, this is. I mean, one or 2 weeks ago, with this big move down, I was starting to call a top on the Aussie US dollar here. But whilst it stayed above 70, and that's pretty much where it bounced off, right? The 70 level, that horizontal level there, it's still bullish for me. So I think you've got to trade what you see, and not what you think. And right now the Aussie is back in favor, I think, as a long trade. Just wondering if anyone else had any technical comments to make on Aussie US dollar or Aussie Kiwi.
Just on the Aussie dollar there, PH, this week there was a big release on the help and the extension of JobKeeper and other plans and the infrastructure that the government is putting in place. New South Wales and Northern Territory have opened their borders to New Zealanders, so Kiwis can fly over. So for us, the other thing that's going to be in place is travel hopefully between New Zealand and New South Wales and New Zealand, Pacific Islands and Singapore will be in place by Christmas, they announced.
Awesome.
So all those
New
kind of
South Wales
things,
not going to happen because you buggers have got another 3 cases.
Oh yeah, New South Wales is a bit on again,
yeah,
off again, isn't it?
It's a real on again, off again, but they hope to have it in place by Christmas. That was the news out this morning. What they're trying to do is just say, okay, it's looking better. And you look at France, for example. Have a look at France's little results today on COVID. What they have, the most they've ever recorded in one day, 27,000 or something. So 3 in comparison. I'll take that.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to do,
that kind of underscores your case, doesn't it, PH?
What's that?
That kind of underscores your case for the Aussie, doesn't it?
Well, okay. So, but on the other side of the coin, I heard that the RBA is planning to drop rates in the future when they can. But for now, it's attracting buying interest. But I'm not. Sorry, Ainslie?
Yeah, they didn't want to. They're really reluctant to drop rates any further.
Okay, all right. I might have misread or misinterpreted something I saw on the.
So I'm surprised to hear that, because that they didn't want to do that. They'd said to the government, put all these other structures in place.
Yeah.
At the last one, and that's what the government have done. It was a huge infrastructure planning. The budget cap was released this week, and it was pretty well received. It's going to just tip the country into a bucket load of debt, but the thing is, it'll get us back on our feet, and it was well received this week. So that is what you're seeing, is the push up from when the budget came out. There's some things ticking in. You can see it being absorbed. I think on Friday, we can all put it down to the US dollar decline.
Exactly.
Also, but all things being equal, it's the little Aussie battler. I think is going to do okay.
Good. All right. Well, I've got one more chart. I've got 2 more charts to look at here, one of which is the pound yen. And what I see is interesting on the pound yen here is, again, there's a horizontal level on the weekly chart, which has been, we tested below it, but we've managed to close above it. We've had 2 weeks of pretty decisive bullish price action here on the pound yen. And by the way, the pound US dollar is not doing too badly as well. If I can manage to get a long trade on the pound yen, I'm going to target the trend line here, which is about, it's about 300 or so pips away from where price is now, which isn't bad, right? And on the daily chart, what I'm also noticing here is, okay, we just managed to get above the 200-day moving average, which is one of the things that I watch on the chart to tell me if it's overall bullish or bearish. Here is the horizontal level that I showed on the weekly chart there, which again we've broken, we've retested. Love those horizontal breaks and retests, because that's when the bulls like to pile in. And I'm just also noticing that as price wavered a little bit around the 200-day moving average, it was above, it was below, it was cautiously above, and Thursday and Friday has actually pushed it above and made a new high for the week. So it's a decisive bullish candle on Friday. It's a decisive bullish candle which closed at the high for the week. And just to bear in mind the pound influence on this, right? So this is what the pound looks like against the US dollar, which is also closed at the weekly high. Yeah, pretty much. And on the daily there on Friday, it also closed at the daily high. So big exodus from the US dollar as of Friday. And you know, I compared the pound versus the Aussie. They're kind of not giving or taking away any ground from each other. So I think both of these currencies will outperform next week. But I particularly liked the price action I saw on the pound yen for a more medium term move here. Yep. So that's chart number 2 for me, pound yen.
But that kind of suggests that you're in favour of a risk on society or certainly market sentiment coming up.
Well,
Why?
Geoff. Well, okay. So great question.
Or is that not the case? You're just being a technical person.
No. I am a technician. Oh, I got some echo going on there. I'm a technician first and foremost as a trader, and it has been topsy-turvy over the last, I don't know, couple of months.
Yeah, I call it Miyagi territory. Wax on, wax off.
Yeah.
Risk on,
risk
off.
on, risk off. Yes.
Yeah.
But look, you've got to, again, like I said before, you've got to trade what you see. When this was happening to the Aussie, I was cautiously bearish. It's the buyers redeemed it here. So if you see the Aussie US dollar being bullish, then I think you can't call a risk off market.
No, you can't. No.
Yeah. So taking that into some of the other currencies, if you see, and I'll just load up the what do you call it? The US dollar yen as well. That's my other risk barometer.
Is it really? Can you actually get a handle on that? I can't read this chart no matter what I do.
Yeah.
I think it's just the most inane, ridiculous barometer of what's going on in the world.
Well, yes, it is.
Yet everyone else seems to think it's the best. So I don't get it.
Yeah, it's okay. So lately it's been misleading. You could say that, right? So here we went down.
I could say
made a new low. We were all calling doom and gloom, and the stock market. I think the S&P 500 was also going down in sympathy, and then I don't know what happened here. Whether it was some yen, some Japanese stuff, or whether it was some just global stuff. We came back up. We still haven't. I don't think we can say that anyone can be a bull on the US dollar yen right now, but the fact is that it's staging pretty deep recoveries. It's not looking like it's going to break down anytime soon. So I think Friday again was more of US dollar weakness than yen strength. Right, but still, look at the price action for the week. For the week, we still gained ground. Yep. So yes, I mean historically, yes, the US dollar yen has been a risk barometer, and at times when things have been bad, the yen, look at how far did we go down in February, right at the start of COVID. We from open to close, nearly 1,000 pips. Yeah. So it's when it starts to make decisive moves that then everyone jumps on board. I'm having problems anticipating those moves right now, but I am keeping one eye on this particular chart. But anyway, we're kind of getting off the topic here. I am, to answer your previous question, yes, Geoff, I'm risk on. That's what the market's telling me.
Yeah, and you know what? Every time we go risk on, I think, what the heck? Why? We've got rumors of war. We've got little rocket man's now got a big rocket. Apparently, we've got COVID-19. He
had a little military parade for that.
Yeah, he did. He's done that before, of course, but now it's a big rocket. He's now, he has to be big rocket man now, apparently. We've got the president of the United States in an unfit condition. We've got an election in the free world coming up. Why are we risk on?
All I can say, Geoff, and I won't give you a long-winded response to this, is markets, the natural state of markets is optimistic. And when bad news happens, okay, and when bad news happens, the market has a knee-jerk reaction often, okay, and if everything turns out to be okay, then the markets swing back to optimism as quickly as possible. That's been my observations as following the markets for many years. Markets prefer to be optimistic until such times as there's blood in the streets, and everything is doom and gloom, and there's no hope for the future. The world is about to end. That's when there's no more optimism, and of course that's when guys like Warren Buffett are starting to survey the markets and look for long-term bargains.
Look, it makes perfect sense what you're saying. And the reality is we're in the markets because we want to make money, right?
Yes.
And guess what? Mostly the only way that we've ever known traditionally and historically to make money is to bet up, not to bet down.
Yeah, it's harder. It's harder to make money going short, and it's harder to make money, being a pessimist than an optimist. So yeah, that's my answer. And those are my charts. Look, if there's time, I'd like to come back and talk about this CAD Swiss, because I think we did have a chat about this last week.
You and I did, yeah. We had a little conversation about that.
Yeah, but it's been a bit of a laggard. I still believe there's upside, but we'll come back and talk about that later.
Hey, go back to that chart.
Yeah, CAD Swiss. This is
There's
weekly.
A beautiful little swing shot there.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh,
but on the daily chart, there's a little break. There's a little trend line break there as well, which I feel is, after all this nonsense that happened in the last couple of weeks, I think it's positive. I think it's a positive thing. But maybe we'll come back to this in a while.
All right, mate. Happy days. If we've got time, we will certainly do that. Thank you so much. Much appreciate for taking over the reins.
Sure.
Because I just lost the whole thing. It just went crazy.
All good. No worries.
Me too, Geoff. I lost